Steve Morgan here, Fishing Monthly magazines at the Boatworks at Whittley's new outlet in southeast Queensland, here with Laurie Jackson to take a ride today in the Sea Legend, the SL20. Yes. It is Whittley's, it's its flagship offshore range, isn't it, the Sea Legend? That's what SL stands for.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. Well, this one's the baby of the Sea Legend fleet, and just because we say it's the baby, it's by no means undersized or underpowered, and it'll get you offshore and get you back safely.
Your yard here, it's only been newly set up, but you've got basically every Whittley in the range sitting here. So if you're shopping for Whitleys, you can really see the difference between the different models, can't you?
Yeah, we've actually got one for everybody here. We've got small cruisers, larger cruisers, smaller Sea Legend and a bigger Sea Legend that we'll be testing as well today.
Take us through the Sea Legend range. You say the 20 is the baby in the range. How big do they go?
Goes 20 SL22, SL25, SL26, and indeed the biggest one is the SL28 monster boat.
Now, the people that you sell the SL20s to, it's you call it the baby of the range. This is a boat that people will be looking at if they want a comfortable family boat that they can do some serious fishing in as well.
Yes, that's right. You'll generally find that people will start with an entry-level boat, which is our clear water range, and they'll jump into a Sea Legend and they try this one first.
Yep. As far as ease of boating goes, I know this comes on a twin-axle trailer. Easy to tow behind most vehicles?
It's towable by a Pajero, so anything that's 2.8 tonne you can tow with, you'll tow this boat. It actually weighs 1900 on the trailer.
Let's talk a little bit about the Whittley brand per se. They're made in Australia and proudly made in Australia. Take us through the process of where they're built.
They're built in Summit in Melbourne, in Campbellfield. We've just moved into a new factory there. They've been built in Melbourne for 67 years. The company was started by Aussie and Jim Whittley, two brothers, 67 years ago. And it's continued to be in the one family, always made in Australia, made in Australia for Australians in Australian conditions. We stand by our brand, and if you look around the showroom here, you'll see that after 67 years, we have arrived at a pretty neat, beautiful package.
Yeah, and I know that the people that own Whitleys, there's a real brethren amongst the guys that own Whitleys. There are Whitley clubs in nearly every state in Australia. You can become involved socially with fellow Whitley owners as well as enjoying the boat itself.
Absolutely. In the Queensland Club, I know for sure, because we have a representative with the Whitley Club who works for us here on site. And in Melbourne, where I've come from, we have people in our family, we call it, that have been in the club for 33 years. They've forgotten more than most people will ever learn about Whitley boats.
Yeah, I think it's a great resource. Look, this SL20 today, it's powered by the Yamaha F130. Let's have a chat to Will Lee from Yamaha about the credentials of that motor. So, Will, the Yamaha F130, this is really an Australian baby, isn't it? Yamaha's a Japanese brand, but this thing was born in Australia, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Australian team at Yamaha had a lot of input into this engine. It's something that we wanted for a long while, and in 2015 the team in Japan gifted us the F130, and 5 years down the track it's probably one of Australia's most favourite outboards in our whole lineup. So
Yamaha do all the four-stroke motors, and four-stroke for me is easy to use and a lot of amenity on the water. Like there's none of the smoke blowing like you get in the old two-strokes. It's easy boating, isn't it? Take us through the regime of using this Yamaha on this Whittley.
Yeah, so Japan, their motto is to build legendary reliability into these engines. So what does that mean? It means that you get the benefit of our own alloy system, which is YDC30 aluminium alloy. We have a really stringent 5-phase paint process. So you're talking about a very high quality engine that's going to give you longevity through it. Four-stroke boating is just easy. It's the turn of the key, the engine starts, there's no priming the fuel line. It just makes boating so much easier than wind the clock back 15 years when we were all playing with two-strokes. So
that's right. Back in the old days when you had to play with the choke to get it going, that's a thing of the past, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You launch the boat, you turn the key on and off you go. You go and enjoy the day's boating with your mates or your family.
Now, Australian-built boat with this motor on the back, good warranty coverage on the Yamahas as well. Like you don't have to worry for years.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it comes with a 4-year warranty, and we've got a dealer network around Australia of about 90 dealers where you'll be able to go and get your Yamaha serviced by a Yamaha trained technician. So
that's awesome, mate. So what we love doing at Fishing Monthly is we'll put this SL20 on the water this morning, we'll fire up the Yamaha and we'll take it for a ride. Well, there you go. That's the Whittley Sea Legend, or SL20, out on the water with that Yamaha F130 four-stroke outboard there. And it was a great day to be on the water. There was no real choppy water to test the rough water chops of this boat, but we could definitely do some performance statistics. This boat's rated to 150 horsepower, and this has got the 130 horsepower fitted. So, in my opinion, if I was buying the boat, I'd put an extra 20 horsepower on there. The performance stats we got, though, with the 130, it went 61 kilometres an hour at 6,000 RPM, spinning that 16-inch general-purpose Yamaha alloy prop. That wasn't the best economy, though. That gave us 1.3 kilometres per litre, but the best economy was at between 38 and 4,000 RPM. Well, we got 33 to 36 kilometres per hour at 2.1 kilometres per litre. Now, combine that with the over 200 litres of fuel on this thing, and that is a lot of range for either a fishing or a family weekend trip away. What I really like about the Whittleys and the way that they put this routed sea deck inside is that when you come back from a trip, you can do your maintenance basically with a garden hose. You hose the back of it out, you hose the sides, you flush the outboard out, and it is ready to go back into the garage. There's no carpet to stay wet. It's going to dry really, really quickly, and there's a line between the cabin and the cockpit so that you can keep water out of where it needs to be and into where it needs to be. I really like that the electronics here, like the isolation switch, etc., is sitting in a really neat little cupboard under the bait station at the back. And when I'm talking about electronics, the dash electronics are really neatly housed away as well. A lot of boats have that sort of exposed wiring at the back of a dashboard. Looks really messy. The Whittley does it really, really neatly through a little maintenance hatch. I really like the fact that it's a very open cabin in this boat. It's sealed away by a canvas veneer between the two that you can zip and clip down, but it's a very wide doorway. You can get in and out of it very easily, and under that top there, it's a great out of the weather place to be, especially in places like Queensland where we are at the moment, where even in winter it can get quite humid and you want that air circulating through. The dash is great. I love dashes where you can actually have flush-mounted big electronics in there. A lot of people that buy boats like this are going to spend $3,000 or $4,000 on a 12-inch sounder, and it can be flush-mounted in this dash, as well as all of the outboard gauges that you like. I wouldn't mind with the throttle. Somewhere to rest your arm would be nice if you're making fine adjustments on the throttle the whole time. It's a fairly steep edge there. There's no real ledge to rest your arm on. If you want to come and see this Whittley boat or any of the Whittley boats, it's great to come down to the Whittley dealership here, the new one in southeast Queensland. Talk to the guys here. They've got all of the boats on display. This one here, as tested, $75,545. Make sure you've got a car that can tow it, and these guys can get you on the water in one of these rigs. For more information, visit www.whitleymarinegroup.com.au, and if you like things on Facebook, go and like Whittley Boats for all of the latest specials, boat shows and updates. But from a great morning on the Gold Coast here, Steve Morgan checking out Fishing Monthly magazines.